Okay, good morning, girls. How are you? Okay, today we are finishing lesson 19.5 and we are doing some extra questions about it. Okay, first of all, if you remember, what did we do yesterday? We were talking about the equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. And we said that the lesson all can be summarized in 2 points, which is if you have two lines which are parallel, then their slopes will be the same, will be equal. But if they are perpendicular lines, they are intersecting in a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to use the formula of that. M1 multiply M2 will be a negative 1. M1 multiply M2 will be a negative 1. Okay, based on this, I left for you question 4 and question 5 in here to do. Okay, let's do them together. They are very easy. First of all, write an equation of each line in slope-intercept form. And we said that the slope-intercept form is the y equal to mx plus b. The line is parallel to y equal to negative x. When you read the word parallel, so you can get the slope right away, m will be, and then you will search where is the slope here. It's a negative 1, which is the number beside x, so m is negative 1. And then I'm going to use this point to find the slope-intercept form. You can either use the point slope form or the slope intercept form. Both of them will give you the same answer. I prefer to use the slope intercept form. This is my x, this is my y. I'm going to substitute in the equation, which is y equal to mx plus b. Let's substitute. So y, which is a 2.5, equal m, which is a negative 1, multiply x, which is a 5, plus b. And then 2.5 will be equal to negative 5 plus b. Shifting negative 5 to the second side, b will be 7.5. You found m and you found b. Now you can write your equation. Y will be m, which is a negative 1. I can write negative x right away, or you can write negative 1x. It's okay. Plus 7.5, and you are done. Okay, let's see question 5. Again, I have the line is parallel to this line in here. So m right away will be the same, 3 over 2. And then using the formula and use this to substitute. So 0 will be equal to 3 over 2 multiply negative 4 plus b. 3 over 2 multiply negative 4 is a negative 6. So 0 will be equal to negative 6 plus b. So shifting 6 to the other side, so b will be equal to a 6. I found b. Now I can write my equation. So y will be equal to 3 over 2x plus 6, which is the b. Okay. Okay, very well. I'm going to remove this. And then let's go to number 7 and number 8 in here. Yes, let's do it. Now we are going to the second part about the perpendicular lines. The line perpendicular to y equal to 3, whatever that pass through this point. When you see the word perpendicular, it means that m1 multiply m2. m1 and m2, you understand, it is for the line he gave you and the line you are trying to find. So this is m1 and this is m2. This should be equal to negative 1. I have one m of them, which is m1, for example, 3 over 2. So 3 over 2 multiply m2 equal to negative 1. How can I find m2? You remember, whenever you see a fraction, how can you get rid of the fraction? If you multiply by the what? By the reciprocal. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply 2 over 3 in here. So it's going to be like 2 over 3 multiply 3 over 2. All of this multiply m2 equal to negative 1 is going to be multiplied with 2 over 3. Cancel, cancel. So m2 will be exactly equal to negative 2 over 3. I found m2 Now I'm going to use it to find the equation. Okay, again y equal to mx plus b, and then use this point to substitute. This is y, x and y. This is y and this is x. So -1 equal to -2 over 3 multiply, which is the slope we just got, multiply 3 plus b. And then, so -1 will be -2 plus b. Shifting -2 to the other side, you will find that b will be equal to a 1. I found b, now I can write my equation. Y equal -2 over 3x plus 1. -2 over 3x plus 1. Doing number 8, the same idea exactly. M1 multiply M2 will be -1 because he said they were perpendicular. So M1 multiply -4. You can substitute either for M1 or for M2, no problem. You are getting a slope. You can name it M1 or M2 because here I substituted M1 and here I'm substituting M2. This is not like two different questions. It is the same idea. Substitute wherever you want. So this is equal to -1. Divide by -4, divide by -4 to get rid of it. So M1 will be exactly 0.25. And then use this point. So 0 equal 0.25 multiply 0 plus b. Anything multiply 0 is 0 plus b. So b is 0. Now I can write the equation y equal 0.25x plus 0 doesn't need to be written. Okay? Okay. Very easy questions. Okay, let's clear them. And then let's go to some evaluate question. Okay, the first question we want to do in the evaluate section will be in page 579 and sorry, 979, 579, no, it's on 979. And we need to do question 1 and question 3. 2 and 4 was left for you as a homework. So just try to concentrate and understand with me number 1 and 3 so that 2 and 4 will be easy for you. First of all, as you can see, we have in the figure 2 lines. We have in the figure 2 lines. One line is, as we said, when you are reading the line, you have to read the line from left to right. This line is going up, which means it's increasing, so its slope is positive slope. But for the second line, it is going down, so it is decreasing, so the slope is negative. For number 1, a line, he is talking about a line. This line that he is talking about is not here, it's another line. A line with a positive slope is parallel to one of the lines shown. What is its slope? He is talking about another line, which is not here, but he is telling you that it have a positive slope. This is the first key. And that it is parallel to one of the lines shown. Parallel, so it can be either parallel to this line or parallel to this line. But remember, we said parallel mean that they have the same what? They have the same slope. And remember, this have negative slope. But he told you we are talking about positive slope. So this line, this other line will be parallel to this line. For example, like this. So this is the line we are talking about. Since they are parallel, so they have the same slope, right? So to find the slope of this purple line, I'm going to find the slope of this line and then they will have the same slope. Okay, let's find the slope. To find the slope, we have our formula, or you can even use rise over run. You can either use the formula or rise over run. Actually, we can use rise over run since it's very, very easy here because it's divided into normal squares. It's a 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's very easy actually. We can do it, why not? Of course, if you use the formula, it will give you the same answer, don't worry. But why not use rise over run since it's easier? Let's use it. So M will be equal to rise over run. Okay, first of all, I have to choose 2 points to begin counting the rise and run from. What about this point? It's a very, very easy point in here. And for example, this point in here. Always try to choose a point in the corner of the squares. Okay, let's begin by counting the rise. First of all, the rise, we rose how many points? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 4 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my slope is 4 over 5. My slope is 4 over 5. We found the slope right away. Of course, if you use the other formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, it will give you the same answer, and you will get 2 points. The first point will be x1, y1, the second point will be x2, y2, and then you will substitute to find the slope. Okay, let's think about question 3, and please concentrate in question 3 because yeah, it's like a little bit slightly different. Here he is talking about perpendicular line, okay? A line with a positive slope is perpendicular to one of the lines shown. What is its slope? Again, he gave you 2 hints. The first hint that the line I'm going to be drawing will be having positive slope and that it is perpendicular this time to one of the lines. Let's try, girls, to understand it. I know that the first thing that will come into your mind that, yes, teacher, since he is talking about perpendicular, so M1 multiply M2 is -1. Yes, very good. And since he is talking about positive slope, so he is talking about this line. Actually, this is not very good. This is not true. Why? Parallel, girls, mean that they have the same slope. They are going in the same direction. This line, you remember the purple line that we drew? When we drew a line parallel to this line, can't you see that if this is increasing, the purple line is increasing? But what about if we try to draw a perpendicular line? Yes, let's try to graph a perpendicular line once for this and once for this. Let's try to graph perpendicular line for this. You remember perpendicular lines mean what? If I have a line like here, so it will be another line cutting like here so that they intersect at 90 degrees. So let's try to do it for this line. For this line, for example, it will be like from here, like this, for example. Right? What do you think? This seems to be 90 degrees, right? And my line will be going in this direction. So the first line is increasing, right? But the line I drew is what? It's beginning from the left to the right. So it is what? So it is decreasing. And decreasing means negative slope. So is this the right line to draw? Actually not, because he was talking about positive slope. So the line I draw here is wrong. So the perpendicular line will not be perpendicular to this line. It will actually be perpendicular to the second line. Let's see if we try to graph a perpendicular line for the second line. Let's try to graph a perpendicular line. I'm just like doing something with my mind. I'm trying to imagine a perpendicular line. The perpendicular line for this line in here will be, for example, like this, for example. Yes, like this, for example, the red one. And this angle will be like a 90 degree, right? Let's remove this one, yes. Okay, Let's think about this line, girls. This line is perpendicular to the negative slope 1. but this line is coming from the left to the right. It is going up, and up means increase, and the increase means positive slope. So actually, the line he wants me to find its slope is the red line, which is perpendicular to the negative slope line, not the positive slope line. But did you understand the mistake, the common mistake that you were going to do? I'm sure that some of you might get confused because he told you positive slope, so you are going to say, yes, so it is perpendicular to this line, so I have to use the slope of this line. Actually, no, because the line is perpendicular to this line with the negative slope, so that it will be positive, because we said m1 multiply m2 should be what? Should be negative. So the slope I'm going to be using will be for this line. I'm going to be using this line, not the second one. And then let's write our formula. m1 multiply m2 equal -1. m1 is for the first line, the one highlighted in red. Let's find its slope. Again, let's use the rise over run because it's very, very, very easy. Let's choose 2 points. Let's do it together. What about this point? Very good. Let's choose another point. What about here? Yes, very good. So to find the slope for this line, so that I can find the slope of the perpendicular line to it, I'm going to use this formula. As we said, m1 multiply m2 should be equal to -1. And then let's find the slope of this line. Since we said the graph is very, very easy here, we can use the rise over run again. Let's choose any 2 points. For example, we have this point in here, and for example, this point in here. Let's begin by the rise. Okay, rising from this point to this point, for example, let's rise 1, 2, 3, 4. And since it's up, so it is +4. What about the run? I'm going to the left 1 square, so it is -1 since it's to the left. So we can write here rise over run is actually 4 over -1 multiply m2 equal to -1. How to get rid of the fraction? Multiply with the reciprocal, which is -1/4. Multiply here with a -1/4 and multiply here with a -1/4. So m2 will be, if you multiply -1 multiply -1/4, it's going to become 1/4. So the slope of the line is going to be 1/4. The slope of the line is going to be 1/4. Okay, understood? Number 2 and number 4, you are going to be doing it in the same way, but take care when he is talking about perpendicular line. Remember that 2 perpendicular lines is actually always have different slopes. Always have different slopes. That's why whenever you multiply them together, they will give you a -1. And if one of them is increasing like this, you will find that the second one, since it's perpendicular, it will be decreasing. So they always have different slopes. So when he is talking about a line with a negative slope, so negative slope perpendicular to a positive slope. So actually he will be talking about the second line, not the red line. Okay, I hope it's understood. Okay, let's go to the coming question. So we did number 1, number 3. Now we need to do number 5, which is very easy. Find the equation of the line that is parallel to the given line, parallel, so have the same slope and pass through this. So the easiest thing that you can do, very easy. First of all, since they are parallel, so m will be the same as the m in this line, which is a -3. So m is found. And then using this point, I'm going to substitute in the slope intercept 4. Okay, so y, which is 0, equal to m, which is a -3, multiply x, which is a 9, plus b. So 0 is equal to -3 multiply 9 is -27. So -27 plus b. and then shifting negative 27 to the other side, so B is actually equal to 27. Since I found B, now I can write the equation y equal to negative 3x plus 27. Again, very easy, right? Very, very easy. Okay, okay. Let's clear it. Okay, after question 5, we need to do question 13. Question 13 is in page 980. Let's think about question 13. Very, very, very important and smart question, and easy. Okay, let's read the headline. The endpoints of a side of rectangle ABCD in the coordinate plane are A, which is 1 and 5, and B, which is 3 and 1. Find the equation of the line that contains the given segment. Before we read anything, everything is better with a graph, is better with a figure drawn. So let's draw a figure for ourselves. He's telling me it's a rectangle, right? Okay, let's draw a rectangle. For example, yes, this is a rectangle in which I'm going to put the points in the order he told me. So this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D, for example. And he is telling you that the coordinates are A is 1 and 5. Of course, since we don't have a coordinate plane, so the graph shouldn't be exactly like this. Just we are trying to imagine the segments after each others. So A is 1 and 5, and B was 3 and 1. Okay? Okay. Of course, you know in a rectangle that this side is equal to this side, right? And also, you know that this side is equal to this side, right? What else do we know about a rectangle? We know that a rectangle have 4 90-degree angles, and this is 90, this is 90, this is 90, and this is 90. All of the angles here are 90 degrees. So this segment is perpendicular on this segment, and this is perpendicular on this, and so on. Find the equation of the line that contains the given segment, and he is talking about BC. He wants me to find the equation of BC. Okay, first of all, what is an equation? The equation of the line is the very, very simple equation, which is y equal to mx plus b, right? Y equal to mx plus b. So I need to find what and what, m and b. Okay, didn't we say that for a rectangle, BC is actually perpendicular on AB because the angle between them is 90? And two perpendicular lines, their slopes are what? M1 multiply M2 is -1, right? M1 multiply M2 is -1. So M1 multiply M2 is equal to -1. M1 is the first slope of the first segment, which is AB. Okay, very good. How can I find the slope? Using the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's use it. So M1 is actually y2 minus y1, which means 1 minus 5. 1 minus 5 is a -4 over 3 minus 1 is a 2. So it's a -4 over 2, which is equal to -2. So I found M1. Let's use it inside the formula. So -2 multiply M2 will be equal to -1. How can I find M2? If I divide by -2 here and divide by -2 here, so M2 will be 1 over 2. We found M. How can I find B? Yes, if I know a point that passed through BC, and then if I substitute with X and Y, I will be able to find B, right? Do you know any points? Actually, we don't know in this question any points except A and B. Does A pass through BC? No. But does B pass through BC? Yes. So this is the point I'm going to be using. So here I'm going to tell him that my point is 3 and 1. Of course, as you know, this is X and this is Y. So let's substitute. So 1 will be equal to half, which is M, multiply 3 plus B. So 1 will be equal to, if you multiply this together, this will give you 1.5 plus B. And then to find B, what should I do? I should shift 1.5 to the other side. So it's going to be negative 0.5 equal B. So B is equal to negative 0.5. Now I can write the equation. So Y equal half X plus or minus, 0.5. And I found my equation. So Y will be half X, 1 over 2X, minus 0.5. Understood? I think you will be having number 12 or something like this in the homework. So I hope it's understood for you how to get it. In here, for example, to find CD is parallel to AB, so it will be having the same slope. And then he already gave you C, for example. For number D, AD, how can I find AD? No, AD is perpendicular on AB. So it will be, I will use the same formula until I find M. And then it's passing through point A, and so on. Actually, it's very, very easy. Okay, let's go to our next question. Okay, girls, we still have number 15 and number 17. So let's do number 15. For number 15, if you remember, we have drawn our triangle in here. We said that, for example, it's better to do it using the, yes, like this. Then it's a little bit crooked, but it's okay. And then we said that this is A, for example, B, C, and D. Okay, and B was 3 and 1, and so on. For question 15, he is saying we want to find the equation of the line of CD if it's passing through 7 and 3. Girls, in a rectangle, all sides are parallel. Yani each two sides in front of each others are parallel. So CD is actually parallel to AB. So we can say that they have the same what? They have the same slope. So the first thing I should find is the slope of this line. Okay. And we said that the slope will be equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so 1 minus 5, which is a negative 4, over 3 minus 1, which is a 2. So the answer was negative 2. So the slope is negative 2. I found the slope. Now I can use my formula y equal to mx plus b using this point. This is y, this is x. So 3 equal negative 2 multiply 7 plus b. So 3 is equal to negative 14 plus b. Shifting negative 14 to the other side, it's going to be positive 14. So 17 equal b. We found b. Now I can write my equation. So your equation will be y equal to m, which is a negative 2x plus 17, which is our b. Okay, so we find we solve number 15 as well. Okay, let's go to our last question, which is question 17. Question 17. Use the graph for parts from A till C. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the segment and explain your method. Explain your method means solve. Yeah, I don't want the answer to be the equation. No, you have to tell me how did you find the equation? What was your steps? He is finding the equation of the perpendicular bisector. First of all, what is a perpendicular bisector? We said before, perpendicular bisector means it's like, for this segment, it's going to be a line passing through the midpoint of this line, yes, and it is exactly perpendicular on it. Just like this, for example. What's happening here? The perpendicular bisector divides this segment into exactly 2 equal parts, and this angle is 90 degrees, and this angle is 90 degrees. Okay, first of all, since these are 2 perpendicular lines, so I'm going to use the formula of my slope, which is that m1 multiply m2 is equal to -1. Very good. How can I find the slope of the first line, the line that is already drawn for me? Take care, the red one is an imaginary one. You cannot find anything from it. We are trying to find it. So we have 2 points already in here, or the rise over run here is going to be very, very, very hard, because here you are talking about points like 90, and then it should be like 110 or something, and then 120. So it's very, very hard to use rise over run. So it's better to use points. My first point is the point in here. Let's find the point here. This is like 30 and 150. So this is 30 and 150. And here this is like 120 and 60. Okay, let's use this to find our answer. So m1 will be y2 minus y1, which is a 60, or 1, no, not a problem, 60 minus 150 over 60 minus 150 over 120 minus 30 over 120 minus 30. The answer will be what? 60 minus 150 is like 40, and 50, it's like -90, over 120 minus 30, it's like 20, and 70, it's a 90. So actually the answer is -1. So the slope is actually -1. And then let's use the formula. So -1 multiply m2 is equal to -1. Divide by -1 on both sides. So m2 will be exactly 1. You found the slope of m2. We found the slope of m2. So m2 is +1. m2 will be exactly +1. Okay. How can I find the equation then? Yes. Girls, he didn't give you any points. Any point passing through this point, passing through this line, so that I can find our equation. Remember that the equation is what? The equation is y equal to mx plus b. We found m. To find b, I need a point so that I can substitute in y and x. But actually, I don't know anything about this red except the slope. No, you know another thing. Didn't he tell me here, girls, that actually this line is the perpendicular bisector? And the bisector means what? Bisector means that this line divides this line into 2 equal parts. And 2 equal parts means that this point is the midpoint. So actually the red line is passing through the midpoint. Okay, so how can I find the midpoint of this line? We had a formula. To find the midpoint of the black line, we have a formula. Remember, what was the midpoint? The midpoint was x1 plus x2 over 2, and then y1, of course, all of this inside like a bracket or something, and then y1 plus y2 over 2, right? Lesson 16.1. Okay, let's use it. x1 plus x2 over 1, which means that 30 plus 120, it's a 150 over 2. And 150 over 2, this will be like 75. This will be like 75. So it's a 75. 150 over 2, yes, because yes, 75. And 150 plus 60, it's like 210, and 210 divided 2 will be like 105. It will be like 105. So I found my midpoint. Now I can use this to find my equation. So I'm going to substitute in here. So y, which is a 105, so 105 will be equal to m, which is 1, multiply x, which is 75, plus b. And then, so 105 will be equal to 75 plus b. And then you are going to subtract the 75 from 105 to find the b, which is going to give you the answer, of 30. So actually b will be 30. I found b. Now I can write the equation. I will tell him that y will be equal to x, mx, which is 1. 1 doesn't need to be written, plus 30. So I found my equation. So what did I do? The slope, I found it in the normal way. Since this is two perpendicular lines, so we found m. And then we needed a point so that I can write the equation. What was the point? I benefited from the word bisector. Bisector means it passed through the midpoint, so I got the midpoint and used it to find the line or the equation. Okay, find the equation of the line that is parallel to the segment but has the same y-intercept as the equation you found in part A. It have the same y-intercept as we found in part A. And what was the part A y-intercept? It was 30. So I just need to find the new slope. He is telling you that the two lines, the new line is parallel to the segment. And we can remove all of this drawings in here. Remove all of this. And actually, in here, what will be the value? The new line, I mean, is going to be parallel. So since it's parallel, so it will have the same what? It will have the same slope. So since we already found the slope, if you remember from here, m1 was equal to -1. So m is actually equal to -1, right? So we can write the equation right away. So y will be equal to -x plus 30 because they have the same y-intercept. Excellent. Okay. What is the relationship between the two lines you found in parts A and in part B? You remember in here, it was removed, sorry. Here the equation was y equal to x plus 30. The question is telling you, what is the relation between these two lines? They have the same y-intercept, right? But the slope is the same, but as if they are multiplied by -1. So let's try. M here is 1, right? M here is -1, right? Let's try to multiply these two m's together. 1 multiply -1. The answer is -1. So remember, when I multiply two slopes together, and the answer is -1. It means that these two lines are perpendicular. So actually, what I discovered here is that these two lines that I got their equations are actually perpendicular because their slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other. Okay. Okay, very, very good. We finished this lesson. In the online lesson, inshallah, we will be revising all of module 19. So try to prepare your questions, try to prepare your books, try to prepare your copybooks or whatever. And inshallah, it will be a beneficial online waiting for you, inshallah.